Precision Farming Harvest Day. Wow, I didn't expect it to be this soon. I definitely picked the right geo, the US Midwest geo for the Ravenport map. I'm excited. It's the beginning of midsummer, which is day 4 out of 9 for the whole season for my save game. The wheat that I have growing is ready to harvest. The sunflowers are still growing. I only own 18 and 21. Those are the two fields we're focusing on for this video. In precision farming, notice the soil types. On plot 18 and the field above that, I should have a nice yield. But there are some things to consider. When I go into the seasons menu, here I'm focusing on crop rotation plan A, which is field 18. Corn was there when I first entered the game. Corn was there previously. It had been harvested, but it must be included in the crop rotation. I chose wheat, but you may be asking why. Because I want chickens. I want chicken feed. Even though it's 0.86, as far as the crop rotation planner says, as far as that's not the actual best crop to pick, but I want to see what type of bonus I will still get, because with seasons and precision farming combined, there are bonuses depending on the soil types. So there's a lot of factors. The field above 18, which is not labeled, which is that little splotch that you saw, which I'll show again, first had fallow. Now fallow was the grass which got plowed into the soil. The bonus now is wheat, 1.14. Those are the numbers we're going to focus on. And then after wheat, I'm going to grow soybeans on that one, because with this geo, the only thing I have left to do to pick is soybeans, which I believe will be perfect. I believe the nitrogen is going to be at the perfect amount for soybeans. I'm not going to need oilseed radish planted. But on field 18 itself, I'm going to put oilseed radish. So then next I'm going to choose possibly soybeans too, but I don't know yet. And you see how the numbers fluctuate? Now the wheat is at 0.95. That is if I follow this rotation plan. So that's a little bit misleading. Right now, this is what it is. Let me show you for this geo, I am shocked. I can still plant soybeans or cotton, but I've never planted cotton before. I don't know what it's all about. I still need to explore that crop. That would be neat. But right now, I'm just not really interested in cotton right now. Even I've never grown it. Interesting, right? Played this game for over a year, never grown cotton yet. I still barely, I think, scratched the surface of this game. Although I have scratched it quite a bit. I digress. I'm being a little bit too humble. But soybeans, you see, I can still plant soybeans. Didn't even realize that. What an unexpected pleasure. So that is why I chose soybeans. And you notice the ratio is 1, and you saw the wheat go up to 1.2. Originally it was 1.14. Don't pay attention to that. This is just a help guide for me. Right now, it's going to be this when I harvest it. Okay. Now, the sunflowers are still growing. And this is what I plan on planting next is oats, because I want horses. But the actual harvest, when I do harvest them, not today, because they're still growing, it's going to be 0.9, which is a little less. Now the soybeans that I am planting, these are alive now. I planted straight after, just found the plot of land, plowed the grass into the soil, and then no soil, no fertilization, just enough nitrogen left for soybeans, which I will show on the bird's eye view of the map. We can get a better look at what we're doing today. I'm going to harvest this. This is field 18. This is the better wheat, which is going to be soybeans next today. This is going to be oilseed radish, and it's going to wait until the next spring, but I'm not sure what I'm going to pick. Probably, maybe, I need to make the crop rotation a little bit better, because I'm going to need more wheat soon. These soybeans are currently growing. This is where I just picked raw ground plowed the grass into the soil. The nitrogen then was at 40. I tested the soil and just added soybeans right to the soil. No fertilizing more was needed. Sunflowers, on the other hand, are still growing, but I added manure to them. But I'm not harvesting them today. But I wanted to give like a drone's eye view of what's going on. Take a look around. Get everybody familiar, or anybody that's new to this series that needs to catch up. Now I need to think about this. Is leasing a harvester the right idea? I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because buying it outright, I'll never need to worry about it again. Leasing costs almost make it pointless because that's a lot of money that's going to be lost. And then when I have the chickens, which are going to feed on the wheat, it's just going to take way too long for that profit to come back. So I do have a way around that. Now follow me here. Alright, here we are back. I'm almost done with field 18. There are some things I need to discuss though. I did add 6 meters per side using this plow right here to field 18. What I did was 6 meters was added this way on this side, not this side or the other side parallel to this one, but the two sides, 6 meters here with that plow, and then 6 meters this way. So that does make it part of the equation. I am astonished, though, at how much so far I have harvested from this field with precision farming, with all the proper nitrogen and lime. See, 18,600 right now, which I had no idea it would be that much. Now I have to go into the secondary container, which I will do once it's full, which I already have there ready to go with my tractor next to it. And then the field there to the right is going to be even way more. I don't think I'm going to have enough room, because like I said before, I don't have a silo yet. I only have $18,000. I'm going to have to borrow money to purchase a silo, I think, which I already know, I believe, where I'm going to put it. I know exactly where I'm going to put it. And I would like to edit this video some more. The problem is, as I am unable to do that. My editor does not allow me to do that anymore. It had an update, and ever since then, it actually made it worse. I can only edit things out once. I can only edit a video once. I know that sounds weird, but if I edit it more than once, it starts to glitch, make errors. The music that I add, the cards at the end don't show up. The music doesn't play properly. Or the entire editing process defaults back to the original, which makes no sense. So that is why for the rest of this video, you're just going to have to watch me. It shouldn't take that long. And I'm also going to have to probably borrow 30,000 or maybe a little more than 30,000 to make up so that I have room left over for whatever the loan interest is going to be. But I don't want to fast forward that. I don't want to waste my entire day. I suppose I could fast forward to midnight, but I don't see a purpose for that right now. I know there's a lot more to do. I need to maybe check out possible new deliveries. Like I say, I don't do fertilizing contracts. They're overpowered. But I do actually do fertilizing contracts once. Because with precision farming, you are able to do fertilizing contracts once. And I'm cheating a little bit using the liquid fertilizer that's in the game rather than using liquid or slurry. I'm sorry, manure or slurry. But, like I say, I'm starting out. I'm giving myself a little contingencies because I am the boss of my universe. Now you got 3,124 plus 18,600 is 21,734 just for field 18, only adding 6 meters per side, with the precision farming saying at only 0.86% of 100, or 86% of the ratio of 1. Still is quite a bit. Now this one has the ratio of 1.14, which I know where I'm going to put the future Missy B's silos. It's going to be right here on the edge of this road. So this is where I'm going to start, because rather than investing in another container, which makes no sense, I'm just going to have to borrow some more money from the bank, which is to be expected. I didn't realize, I forgot how easy it is to go through money in this game. Also, I am going to purchase a baler for this straw, which I don't believe is much money at all. I have a nice mod that will take care of that. So in addition to the baler, which I think is around $35,000, I can't remember, and $50,000 for the Missy B's plus the $18,000 I have right now, I may have to borrow another $100,000, which I believe still my property income at the end of the day I think is still going to outweigh what the loan interest was going to be. Which there's a method to my madness. I've invested enough property income mods to give myself a cushion for loan interest payments, which you don't want. Now, my Missy B's is going to go right around, I forgot, I need to concentrate on where I'm going to put it. It's going to go on this field here. This field is a temporary field of wheat. Most of it anyway. But the problem is I may have to purchase that baler to get this straw off the ground, because I don't believe you can place a, as a matter of fact I know you can't, you cannot place an object on top of straw. It's got to be, the land has to be as level as possible and completely clear of obstructions. So like I say, I wish I could do some editing, but I can't. I can only edit out once. But I edited out right at that point. I wanted to actually edit out towards where I was done with this field, and then start up the video again. But I had to get on record how much that field 18 produced. A nice amount of wheat. I think I said 21,734, I believe, was the total count, just on what I've harvested so far. See, I'm going to get this ready, teleport over to the tractor, I mean. Now this container I think holds like 14,000. So I'm still good so far. While that's emptying in there, I want to check out how much that baler is going to cost, so I know how much to borrow. There we are, baling technology. I have a mod that's inexpensive and it will do what I need to do. I just know I do have a lot of them. This one, it's only 24,000. It does everything. A baler turns loose straw, grass, or hay into convenient bales. It doesn't make silage bales, which I don't really care. I don't need that right now. I do have some silage bales, though, as you can see off there in the distance. Those are from a mowing job that I did. Whoops, I forgot I was in the wrong vehicle. There we are. I had a baling job for a mower where I borrowed the equipment. It was on field 1. And I was left over with 12 bales to keep for myself, which is going to ferment into silage. Very good. I do plan on having cows. So what I'll do here is I'll harvest this little bit of wheat that's left here, because I'm about to run out of room. I'm going to need that silo ASAP, which is going to be put near the road here, but first I need to clean the straw out, which requires that baler. So there's a lot going on. And I need to make sure that this video, when completely edited, it's not going to be an hour long. But since I'm on PlayStation 4, once it starts to go over an hour, it's going to start recording over. So I need to do this as diligently and as quick as possible. The good news would be is if I could fit all of this into that container, I wouldn't have to worry so much about getting a silo immediately. I could relax and save up the money and just hold the wheat in these containers for now, which I didn't think before. The actual harvester can hold the wheat and keep it stored temporarily. That will be good. That means less money borrowed from the bank, which I think is going to be the overall choice. I don't see how borrowing money from the bank only if just for that baler, because I definitely want to get this straw collected. I know I said earlier that would be too much of an investment. I was wrong. It's just straw. I don't necessarily need a windrower right now. I could just take my time and collect it. And also because there's no rain in the forecast, I don't have to worry about that straw disintegrating. I have today and part of tomorrow to collect this straw. So I got a lot of good things going for me. I thought this field would have more wheat, to tell you the truth. I think I was mistaken. So total, we're going to have a total count. And this video won't be so long as I thought it would. I don't need to record collecting the straw. Everybody knows what that looks like. And I'm only going to need to probably borrow like $10,000 from the bank, which isn't bad. For a total of $230,000 borrowed from the bank, which I know my property income is going to outweigh the loan interest, so I'm doing quite well. There, I'm done. I'm done cleaning up this wheat, collecting it, harvesting it. We'll get a total count of this field. If we subtract, I believe it was like 3,134 liters. Because the 18,600 overfilled, the rest went into here. We already did a count. Plus, yes, this is all working according to plan. This is all coming together quite nicely. So if we jump into the tractor here, or get an official reading, 11,851 minus 3,134, I believe, you're looking at around 8,720 something. So 8,000, we'll say 8,700 liters out of this field, which I will show. And that's going to conclude this video. But I wanted to show first, this is how I do a bird's eye view, or a drone's view. 8,700 liters just out of this little small patch. Not bad. And I'm glad that there's no rain in the forecast, so everything's decent. So I'm going to save up money for a Missy B's silo, which is going to fit here next to the road. It's going to look beautiful. And then I'll be able to place a chicken farm soon, which I believe I'm going to put over here once I harvest the sunflowers. There's a mod that will give me 500 chickens, but that costs me too much money. I'm just going to stick to the one that's 40,000, which gives me 400 chickens. And I definitely have enough wheat to maintain them, to keep them fed. Now my farm is starting to really take off, and it's only midsummer, year one. It's not even year one yet. It hasn't even been a year. in-game that is, which is 36 days, or it takes me approximately 2 to 3 weeks real-time, my time dedication playing, sometimes even a month to just do a year in this game, if you have 9 days per season set like I do. One last thing is the crop rotation. Now I'm going to go this field here that I had wheat and corn. This will be, I'm thinking oats because I want horses. I could go canola, but the planting season right now, I'd have to wait. I could plant soybeans if I'd like, because you see right now I can only plant soybeans or cotton, but I'm not familiar with cotton. Or I could wait till the beginning of fall and go with some canola. That might be a good choice, because the bonus is 1.20, which is 120%. Now you see how the wheat went up? That's if you follow that same rotation, which I could. But to go from canola to corn to wheat, that's going to take a whole nother year from now for that to come to fruition. But I need to keep up with wheat to keep my chickens fed. So if I go to sunflowers to, let's say, wheat, which is on field 21, or barley, yeah, 1.20. That's going to be the plan to keep up with the chickens. Barley and wheat both go for chickens. I like to mix it up. That way I don't have so much wheat that I don't have enough room for it anymore. Because, yeah, everybody knows how that works. I don't need to explain that. Everything's looking good. That's the future crop rotation planner. It's a nice little guide. It's definitely very useful. Everybody have a great day. Thank you.